Okay, just wanted to give a quick tour of my little biotope terrarium thing. It's changed a little bit since the last time you saw it. So yeah, here's the second apple tree plant that I transplanted in. Seems to be doing pretty well. Here's the first one. You can see it's getting a little bit droopy. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera or not. Yeah, you can just about see it. There's a little spider which has built a web there. No idea what she's eating, because I haven't seen a single dead bug in it, but, you know, you do you, spider. Let's see. Going down to the ground level, you see we got a couple of moss patches here. Transferred those in from my yard. They seem to be coming along pretty healthy. Let's see if I can spot... Yeah, there we go. Here's one of our little black soldier fly larvae. There are an absolute crapload of these writhing around underground, which is good and bad. I mean, it keeps the soil aerated, but it also makes like everything that's put on the surface just slowly sink. Like this carrot was, you know, on the surface a few days ago. You can see it's pretty much entirely buried now. And, you can still see some movement underground as well. Here's another plant that I just kind of plucked off of the side of the road earlier today whenever I was out doing my rounds. I've seen them around, don't really know what it's called. Same thing with this one. It's one of those plants, I forget what they're called, but they have these sort of palm frond looking leaves that if you stroke them, they close up. All of them are closed up right now, I guess because it's still kind of in shock and getting used to its new home. Over here we have Fort Venice. I'm calling it that because, like everything else in here, it's slowly sinking. Thanks, worms. I built it for the ants, but I haven't seen any ants around it, so I mean, I guess they're not interested. Also, like, here is the intrusion of cockroaches, which I mentioned. There's... Oh, okay, the lights just went off. Let me just... I guess that's a little better. Anyway, you can see there's like a bunch of them. Tiny roaches, sort of. You got those big brown ones as well. I guess they're all German cockroaches. I don't really know. My cockroach identification skills are not up to snuff. And there's a grown-up black soldier fly. Just kind of chilling out on the glass. I don't know if these... I've seen a couple of them in here, and I don't know if they're like coming in from outside just because the... well, you can tell the conditions are good for their larvae, or if these are actually larvae that have like fully developed and are just kind of crawling their way out of the ground. I haven't seen any emerge from the ground in fly form, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. I haven't really been here all that much. Jack has been over, excuse me, working at Dad's. So, you know, it's a thing. Also have like a decently healthy population of like other smaller bugs. I think some of them are springtails, which are really good, like decomposers. You know, I've seen some small things with wings. I think they might be fruit flies. I guess they're attracted by the rotting smell. And just every now and then I'll see one of these, one of my little ant workers. Haven't seen very many of them. Don't really know where they're nesting at, aside from not in Fort Venice for whatever reason. I haven't seen many workers, actually, since I moved them in. I've seen the queen, like, a couple of times. I saw her, like, I think maybe 4 days ago or something like that. I say her. There's actually, I think, 4 queens in here because I moved several colonies in at once, which is a terrible thing that you're not really supposed to do, but I figured... I don't know what I figured. I didn't really have anywhere else to put them, so I figured I'd put them all in one place, and hopefully they can cohabitate. But yeah, I guess there's just not that many ants in the colony yet, in any of the colonies yet. There's like maybe like, I don't know, 6 to 10 in each one. And, you know, the queen is probably squirreled away somewhere, you know, laying more eggs. So, you know, they'll develop eventually. You know, assuming the queens are not already dead. I know it's got to be aggravating, like being an ant in this little setup, because with all those worms writhing around underground, they've got to be like bursting through the walls of whatever colony they're trying to build every now and then. So it's got to be a real pain in the neck trying to get a colony set up. But on the other hand, maybe they're just co-opting the tunnels. I don't know. I'm not an ant. I'm just a guy who has ants. and cockroaches and grubs and plants. Okay, signing off.